Hello everyone, it's Jamie and welcome back to my channel and welcome to another cross-stitching video. In this video I am going to be getting ready some supplies for a surprise new start. I wasn't planning on starting anything, but then there was a chart that came out, and so I'm not going to say what the chart is right now. I don't know what I'm going to say. I don't know if I'll just wait for my next update video or if I'll make another video before then where I do like a stitch with me or something, but I'm going to be starting a new chart. It just came out recently. There are hints somewhere, my shirt, about what the start is related to. If you can't see my shirt, what's on my shirt? I don't know. What is it? So it's a new start related to something, like I said, my shirt. And it came out and I was like, I gotta start it now because House of the Dragon starts soon. So I'm going to be having a new start and I need to get all of these stuff ready for my new start. So to start with, I will be making floss cards. So right now we are at where my master set is. My master set is in a 3-tiered card that you can get from like Michael's, and it's all on these plastic floss cards that you can get from Amazon. I kit up all my projects onto these cardboard floss cards, or some of them are on floss drops now, but I'm using the cardboard ones if there's a lot of colors because they just hold a lot more colors in a smaller space. So these ones I get from AliExpress because I could not find them anywhere else. If I could, I would not be ordering them from AliExpress. So the first thing I'm going to do is I have my laptop over here with all the colors for the projects. So I'm going to be writing all of the colors onto my floss cards, and then I will be pulling floss from my master set to put onto the cards. So that is what I'll be doing first. All of the floss cards are made. It only took 2 because this is not a huge project. I mean, it's big-ish, but it's not as big as, like, you know, a lot of my charts are. So it only took 2 floss cards, and now I just need to start putting the floss onto the floss card. So I will show an example of how I do it real quick, but I'm not going to do all of them because I think there's like 48 or 49 colors. There's quite a few colors to where I would want to do every single one. I don't think you'd want to sit through every single one, so I will change the angle of the camera so you can actually see what I'm doing, and I will show you how I take the floss from my floss cards and put them onto the project floss card. So here is the first floss card, and the first floss color that I need is DMC 02. So I go on to my master set, and there's actually not that much of this color left. Hold on, I want to see how much color is used in the pattern. I have Pattern Keeper open, so it tells me how much of each floss color I need for that pattern. And so for 02 I need, there's 537 stitches. So I might just take all of, whoa, that's not even 02. I might just take all of 2 off, and I just do that, put it onto my project one, and then it's done. And so I need to make a note somewhere that I need to get more of 02. I'll just remember it as I'm watching back, hopefully. So I need to get more DMC2 if I don't have any more in my stash, and then you just keep going. So the next color I need is 3, and that needs 400. So I won't need to take all of it because for DMC3 I do have a little bit more. So I will pull it off. I will just take off, like, let's take half. So I'll take 2 of these 6-stranded cuts, leave 2 on the master set, and then I will put 2 onto the floss card here. So that's what I do, and that way I don't have to put like a full skein with a project because most of the time you don't really need a full skein for a project unless it's a project that's huge and you need like tons of like black or tons of like a dark blue or something like that. But a lot of times, especially if it's a smaller project, you don't need to put a full skein with the project because it doesn't tend to use the full amount. So I'm going to go through and I will go and finish doing all the floss cards later because the next thing I want to talk about is my fabric choices. So I put the fabric somewhere. It's in my floss cart here. So fabric choices is, this is like a smaller-ish chart. Let me open up the floss, or the fabric calculator. So I always use the Yarn Tree fabric calculator because I don't want to calculate it myself. And so this chart is 128 by 160. And so if I were to do it on a 16 count fabric, it would be, the finish size, or the size for the fabric I would need would be 12 by 14. And that is giving myself very little border. I always set it to be a 2-inch border because I don't have anyone else finish my things for me. It's just me. So I have a piece of fabric here that's a 16 count gridded fabric. I will be very short on one of the sides. I'll only have like an inch of border, but it's fine. And usually for gridded fabrics, instead of actually using like the fabric calculators, a lot of the times I'll just count the squares. So like this one is 128, so I know that this one direction I'm going to need 13 squares. So a lot of times I'll just count the squares to make sure that I have enough and do that. So I have a 16 count piece of fabric. I have this fabric here, which is, I think it might be a 20 count. I think it is from the Christmas mystery box that I got from the sewingshop.ca. And the fabrics that I had selected was 11 to 20 count. I'm pretty sure this is a 20 count. I used a ruler and counted and I got 20. And so I could do it on this fabric here, which I would like to do it on something like this because I could do a tent stitch or a half stitch, which would go faster. But I also don't know if I want it to be this small. And then I also have a 28 count, like it's a scrap piece. Like I have done so much with this. So this fabric here that I have, that's 28 count gridded fabric. It was used for Eternal Promise. I was stitching Eternal Promise Super Size Max Color years ago, and I quit it because I was like, Super Size Max Color, it's not for me. It takes a bajillion stitches to get to 1%, and I'm not going to stitch on something that much, especially a chart that is so many neutral colors. Like, I love Eternal Promise, but it's not bright colors, and I do prefer like brighter colors for my stitching. So it was originally used for Eternal Promise, and then I've used it for a bunch of other things because it's a super size. I had a huge piece of fabric. So I have also used it when I was testing out one of the Medusa Dollmaker charts. When Medusa Dollmaker left Gecko Rouge and started their Etsy shop, the charts only had 35 stitches. So I started testing one of them because people were wondering how it would look with only 35 colors, or it might have been 40. And so I was testing it, but then eventually she did release the charts with more colors. So I think now it has 100 colors. And so I didn't feel the need to continue testing, but I feel like the face looked pretty good for only having 39 colors or something in the chart. I don't remember exactly what it was. And so I was testing that on this. And I do have like a blank space over on the other side here that would work for this mystery chart that I'm starting. I would have to like cut this little scrap off. And if I stitched it on 28 count, it would seriously only be like 5 by 6 or something. It would be the smallest little chart. And so I like the idea of doing it on something where I can do half cross, but I don't know if I want it to be that small. So 28 count's an option. The 20 count's an option. The only thing that I'm not liking about the 20 count is just the fact that it's not gridded. So I think I would rather use this for something that's like not full coverage. And I usually don't use gridded fabric for non-full coverage projects. And then there is the 16 count. So I will be starting this mystery chart on one of these 3 fabrics. If you have any thoughts or opinions on if I should do the 16, the 20, or the 28 count, you can leave them down below because I don't think I'm going to start this today. I need to finish making the floss cards, but I thought I would just show quick how I do it because I have had people like ask if I kit everything up separately and how I do that. So that's what I do, is I just make these floss cards and I take floss from the master set, but I don't usually take very much from my master set for each project, and that's what I do. So now I will be going so I can go and finish making the rest of my floss cards. There's, like I said, it's like almost 50 colors, I think, and then I will keep thinking about these fabrics. So also, do you have any guesses? Can you figure out what the chart is? Because I mean, I gave the hints about this, and it's a newer chart. So if you have been watching other floss tubers, you might have seen what it is that I will be stitching. And so if you have any thoughts or guesses, I might do like a start with me video in the next couple of days where I start it and then do it on video, and then I might say what it is then. I just think it's fun to keep it a mystery and make people guess, which I actually hate mysteries myself. Like if someone was doing this to me, I'd be like, but to other people, it's fun to do. So that is all that I have for this video, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!